all, welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mod, and this is our September update, guys. So yeah, we are into September. Really doesn't seem like we've had much of a summer, to be perfectly honest with you, because now the darker nights are coming in, and yeah, it's going to start getting colder very, very soon. So yeah, winter is on its way, unfortunately. But I will be hopefully by the next channel update. I don't know if in the last channel update I said I'd be in the new room by this one, but it's taken a lot longer than what I thought, and I'll get onto that for later on in this video. So we'll talk about the builds first of all. Now, if you notice, this video is out today. That's because I received no Titanic yet. Normally I get it Thursday, Friday, Saturday of the week that it's due. Nothing's come, no email, and that's the same for the Lancaster Bomber as well. I've absolutely received nothing from Hachette. I know I've been invoiced for it all and everything, but just nothing has turned up at all, which is quite strange for Hachette. So if nothing turns up tomorrow, I will be contacting them and asking them where's my bits and pieces, because it's getting a bit ridiculous. So that's why there is no Titanic video now. If it comes in the meantime to today, I will try and do it and get it out. But I'm not going to rush it, and that's the thing. And I think we're building another crane, which I've got to do offline. I think the crane needs painting because it's one that's going to go into the aft well deck. So yeah. But the Titanic's coming along nicely, and in a couple of months she will be finished. She will be a complete build. So I'm looking forward to completing that one. It's been a heck of a journey with her. But yeah, it's definitely going to be worth it in the long run. So there we go with the Titanic. The Enterprise D is coming along smoothly. I am so pleased with that build at the moment. I haven't had any major problems, touch wood. I did have that problem where I accidentally screwed into one of the wires because I didn't check that it was clear, and I had to go in there and resolder the wire, which wasn't too bad. But it's all working now, which is the main thing. And it's coming along nicely, is that build. It really is. I'd love to do more. I really would love to do more, but yeah, I'm limited with it being an old school build to only 4 issues a month, which I'm happy about that because it's not a lot of money that comes out the account. So onto the Lancaster Bomber. There is quite a bit to be said on that one, actually. So if you didn't know already, people are having problems with their Lancasters. Basically, they were mounting the engine on, and the prop shaft, the propeller, and the prop shaft wasn't moving. Now, I had that problem with mine. I'm not going to lie to you, I did, and I've tried numerous fixes, and the engine was falling apart left, right and centre. Bits were coming off it, and it just looked a complete and utter mess. So I contacted Hachette, obviously, I told them about making them aware of the problem that's been going on, and I said, look, it's a mess, the engine is a mess. So they actually replaced the issue so I could build another engine. Now, in doing that, I was able to rectify some things I didn't do before. So one of the things was there is a bearing in the propeller shaft. Now, you need to make sure you lubricate that bearing. That's one thing I forgot to do or didn't do. So I lubricated that bearing just to make sure that it would turn easily. The second thing I did, which I did learn from the other one, is obviously I put the engine back together a lot better than I did previously. I will admit the previous way I did it probably wasn't up to par. And the third thing is, on the front of the aircraft, there is a screw that holds the casing and the bearing in place. Now, I found if you screwed that screw too tight, it would then apply pressure on the prop shaft, which wouldn't turn the prop. So I found if you loosened it by a bit, it moved the prop. The prop would move. The other thing that we did find out of Hachette is a lot of people were using their test board to test the engine rotation. It's underpowered. It's the test board. These things are never really. I think the only couple of builds we've ever had where they've got it right is, like, an example is the Bismarck, and then we had a test board for motors on the Bismarck. We also had test boards for LEDs on the Bismarck. Now with that, which means they were supplying the proper ampage to run a motor, and then obviously the proper ampage to run to test LEDs. So I actually took the Bismarck circuit board for the motors, which I keep all the circuit boards, the test boards. I actually tested it on the Lancaster, and with that extra ampage, it was turning. I had no problems with it turning, so it's mounted and everything, ready to go. The only thing with the Lancaster is I haven't received my next lot, and I'm waiting for that to come through. So they normally come at the same time, the Titanic and the Lancaster. It's not turned up, and I don't know why. I noticed some people have been getting them, but I didn't get mine. So waiting on Hachette on that one. So the next one is the, which one is it? The U96. Oh wow. She's coming along beautifully. I'm not rushing on that one. I'm just getting the bits out as they come. And yeah, she's looking really nice. Lots of glue in that one. I know we're going to have quite a few electrics and everything to go on, but everything seems to be running on that one really nice and smoothly, and it's looking beautiful. Really, really nice. And then lastly, the Optimus Prime. Man, if I look at my analytics for videos, my top viewed videos would be the Titanic. Now my top view videos are on the channel are actually the Optimus Prime, and that is stunning. It really is. It was so worth the wait, waiting for Fan Home to release theirs. It is amazing. You look at the detail and you just think, wow, how have I gone from this really small chest piece to so bulky now? And that is looking amazing. Really, really amazing. So there we go, guys. That's all the builds. Now we have had a couple of releases, we've had a release, and we've also got a test build at the moment. So first of all, here is one that has been released. Okay, so that's not going to be starting shipping until November, but as you can tell, it's the Power Rangers Megazord. I'd love to do it. I really would. It's one of them that I'm thinking, oh, please. But I can't afford it. I can't afford it. And, you know, I always choose ones that I like and, you know, that mean something and stuff. I really do enjoy that, you know, and, yeah, I just can't afford to do it. It's out of my price range now. I'm going to have to be picky and choosy. We do have the Apache starting in September, so I've got to think of that as well. So unfortunately, as much as I'd love to do that build, I just cannot afford to physically do it at all. So that's one for the back burner, unfortunately. But it does look nice. I think I've said this before, it would have been nice if they'd done the Dragonzord to go with it. Because then you'd have the Mega Super Dragonzord that would go with it. But it's the Megazord, so yeah. So that's getting shipped. That starts getting shipped in November. And yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. Now, this next one is a test build that Hachette are doing at the moment. The test build is located in Cardiff. Don't know why, but yeah, okay. The test build is located in Cardiff, and it is this. Okay, so it's a DB5 from James Bond, obviously. Now, to tell you the truth, that's the last thing I thought Hachette would do a test build on, to be perfectly honest with you. They really brought that out. I don't know how. When I first found out, I was like, what? And it honestly, it floored me because that's the last thing I thought Hachette would actually bring out. A DB5 from James Bond. Now, it's a test build. And the reason for that is we know it's a test build because you can only get it in a certain area in the UK. And also, if you ever go onto the Hachette website and if you don't see it on their model making section on their website, it is a test build. Only live builds will make it onto their main website. Now, the difference between this and probably other DB James Bond cars, is this is going to be a 1/6 scale. Now, seems some reason 1/6 scale seems to be the most popular thing at the moment. There's quite a few out there that are actually doing 1/6. Well, no, there's one other. There's a Shelby Mustang by D'Agostini that did a 1/6 scale, and then there's going to be this. So is that going to be the new new scale? I don't know. Suppose you get a little bit more for your money, I suppose, but excuse me. 1/6 scale. Yeah, 1/8 scale's quite big, but 1/6 scale, that'd be yeah. So it's a test build. I think I've said this about the James Bond cards that Agora sent out. I'm not a big James Bond fan. My dad loved it, but it doesn't really do anything for me. So even if that does become a live build, it's probably one I'm not going to do. The same with the Ford Falcon. I'm not going to do that one either. I'm not a big car enthusiast. I do like my sci-fi cars. I love doing the camper van. But it's just, it's not me. It's just not me. So, but that's a test build at the end of the day. So, the new model room. Right. It's taken longer than what I thought. I thought I'd be done in a month. But we've had problems in there, and to put it frankly, it's been a bit of a nightmare. But I've overcome them now. So, one of the problems was... this is an older house. It's an older terrace Victorian house, and when I wanted a clean slate in there, so half of the walls had wallpaper on, and half of the walls were skimmed before we moved in. Now, what I mean by skimmed is they just put a layer of plaster over the wall, smoothed it off, and yeah. But half of them weren't. So half of them had, I think it was either 3 layers of wallpaper on. So what somebody's done is they've wallpapered it, they've wallpapered again on top of it, and they've wallpapered again on top of that, which is a nightmare to get off the walls. It's a nightmare, and it's also a very, very dirty job doing. Now, I couldn't get away with not doing it. I looked at it and I thought, there's no way I'm going to get away with not taking this wallpaper off. So that took a while. It really did take a while. And then obviously when you've taken all that off, you've then got to look at what's behind it, because none of that's been revealed for years. So all the walls had to be filled. They had to be dealt with. The walls that have been skimmed needed what they call a whitewash on, so they take up paint, because basically when they're skimmed, they're very absorbent. So if you try and directly paint onto plaster, it'll just suck in the paint, and you'll be there for ages. So you basically need to do a whitewash of watered down paint, basically. So that had to be done. The roof had to be painted as well. That hadn't been painted in years and was a really dark colour. And for a YouTube studio model room, you need as much light in there as possible. So that had to be done. Then the painting had to be done, which was was done. And then after that, all the doors and the skirtings needed to be painted. It has been a mammoth task. Not the easiest to do at all. Now, all that's done. So it's all been painted and everything else like that. There was some old flooring down as well that the council tried to take up but didn't do. So all that had to be done. I had to basically be on the floor with a scraper, taking up the these like lino tiles that they put down. All that had to be taken up. Oh, right. So that's not the half of it. But yeah, so then that had to be taken up so I could put my new flooring down, which I've done. And then we had a bit of the problems is I needed to run an Ethernet cable up there because my computer runs on Ethernet. I'm not a big fan of wireless technology, especially when you're doing live streams or recordings and stuff. I do prefer Ethernet, so I've had to run an Ethernet. If you look over here, there's this black wire that's going up. That's actually the Ethernet for the new model room. So yeah, that's had to be done. That were a nightmare as well, going through walls and stuff. I thought I'd had enough. I bought 12 meters of Ethernet cable. I needed about 18 meters, so that slowed it down. So there was that to do. I've had the shelves to put up, which I've done now, and I've had the main build desk to put up, which I've done now as well. So we're at that stage now where I'm just starting to organise where cameras are going to go, where other bits and pieces are going to be shown in the new room. But it's looking nice. It's really looking nice. And I should be in it within a couple of weeks, maximum. There's not much more to finish off in there. The only other thing as well is, because this is an old house, the walls are a nightmare to drill into because they are solid. Absolutely solid walls. So yeah, it takes its time when you're drilling in. But we're getting to the stage now where I can start connection for the YouTube bits and pieces. I have been videoing it as I go along, so there will be a video go up about obviously the progress and showing you guys and everything of how it's going and whatnot. But it's just taking its time. It really has taken its time. But the good news is, because I still have my setup down here, I wasn't in a lot of rush to get the new setup done. I've been able to take my time with it, which has been fantastic. So yeah, definitely by the next update we'll be in the new model room. And yeah, I've got enough room in there to work on what I need to work on, to have the equipment out that I want to have the equipment out on. And yeah, it's going to look really, really fantastic when it's done. So I'm really looking forward to getting in there. Can't wait. Honestly, cannot wait. So that is really it for an update. I think I've said everything I need to say on it. Hopefully Titanic will come and I can get a video done of that one. But like I said, I'm releasing this instead because at this moment I have just not received anything yet off Hachette. So yeah, hopefully within the next few days I'll get sorted. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please could you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell and be notified of any future videos. But as for always, stay safe and bye for now.